I wonder why Beyond Good and Evil came out much better in HD than the Sands of Time trilogy, or the Splinter Cell trilogy.
Oh, have you been waiting here all this time? I didn't realize you meant these baths. I went to the other baths, clear across the other side of the city. I had a lovely wash and a rub with fragrant oils. Too bad you weren't there. Stop talking to yourself!
Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was close. I didn't realise that was happening until it was almost too late. Getting out of the water is probably a good idea. Yeah, no, I do wonder, like, why Beyond Good and Evil came out better. Because it was like, it's the only re-release of Beyond Good and Evil, I think, that's actually happened. Beyond Good and Evil didn't sell that well in its initial run, which is why it's taken so damn long to get anything resembling word on a sequel. Like, Ubisoft every now and then would tease, yeah, maybe we're doing Beyond Good and Evil 2, maybe it's happening. And they would tease that for years. It was only a couple of years back that they actually finally confirmed development and gave us an actual bloody trailer. And they were like, oh no, it's a prequel. And I was like, oh well, you know, I immediately do not care. It's a prequel with all new characters. It's not set on Hillis. And based on the trailer, it didn't look like it had anything to do with the DOMs either. I was like, well, you know, I'm suddenly not all that interested. Then they brought out that other trailer that had both Paige and Jade in it, and I was like, you know what, Ubisoft, you've got me back. But this persistent world thing, is it a persistent world? This thing you've got where it's like, oh, there's a multiplayer aspect to it, it's like, And Ubisoft's recent thing with the whole... the way Assassin's Creed moved on to this huge game that just drags on and on and on. And it looks like that's what they're doing for Beyond Good and Evil. It does worry me somewhat. I mean, it's one of the big problems with the industry at the minute. It's like, you know, maybe I don't want every game to take 100 hours to beat. Because you know what happens when every game's 100 hours long? I'm playing less games. And also, I'm probably not finished in these games, I'm probably getting bored. It's one of those things, like, how many people can say they actually finished something like Skyrim? As opposed to eventually stopped because they got bored. It's like, it could have been 10 hours in, it could be 50 hours in. Oh, that's interesting. It could be 10 hours in, could be 50 hours in, could be 100, could be 200 hours in. But eventually, did you finish it, or did you stop because you got bored? And that's where a lot of these games seem to be going nowadays, and I'm worried that's what Beyond Good and Evil 2 is going to be.
Done. I'll start the story from here.
But I'm interested. It seems like the only games I'm interested in that are coming out are the ones that don't have any kind of release date yet. Beyond Good and Evil 2, Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Yeah, I guess at this point Persona 5 The Royal was announced, which sooner or later I'm going to pick up. Although I'll pick it up sooner if it's a DLC, if there's the option to get it as DLC, rather than paying for the entire game again. Because it's like Persona 3 eventually got FES, which was essentially what the Royal looks like. Okay, that just broke earlier. Alright. Yeah, Persona 3 got FES, which is like the director's cut like Royal is. Persona 4 eventually got Golden, which, you know, same idea. The difference with those is Persona 3 and Persona 4, I hit you. Why did you get me? Like, Persona 3 and Persona 4 were PS2 games. A re-release was about the only thing you could do there. But Persona 5 is on PS4. There's no real reason why you shouldn't be able to... There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to release this as both a standalone thing, if you want, and DLC for the people who already bought the game. And... yeah, for the people who already bought the game and don't want to pay full price again. And, you know, chances are, if somebody's interested in Persona 5 The Royal, they'll have already bought Persona 5 because it was the single best-selling Persona game. Like, one of the great things to hear about Persona 5 was that, what was it, within, like, its first 3 months, it had sold more than Persona 4 had in its lifetime. And Persona 4 had been out for, like, an extra 9 years. Huh. So, you know, it's not as though it didn't sell well, and it'd be like, World of Final Fantasy. World of Final Fantasy released... They announced it was coming out on Switch, and it was going to be World of Final Fantasy Maxima, with a bunch of new features and cool stuff, and it was like, yeah, cool. And the PS4 version also has Maxima Upgrade as DLC. It's like, you know what, good. It's a good idea. And I'm hoping Persona 5 gets something like that for the Royal, because I don't want to buy the game again. That's going to really put me off actually getting it for a while. Especially if I can't carry over my New Game Plus data. I don't want to start Persona 5 again, that game's so long. Oh, thank God for that sand cloud when we're getting low. Yeah, it's like, you know, it'd be a good idea to make it compatible with your save data from Persona 5 so I can carry my New Game Plus data over with all this new stuff. Especially with the stats that I had. Because, like, the social stats in Persona are very important. And building them up takes, like, almost the entire game. And one of the best things about New Game Plus in the Persona series is... One of the best things about New Game Plus in the Persona series is the, your social stats carry over. And that's a really good thing. Because it means you can do all this stuff from the beginning, like you'll have enough courage to do stuff, you'll be able to ace the earlier exams. And it's like, it's all stuff that you'll want. There's a chest over there, it's like the one we saw earlier, and I want to know what's in it. That didn't answer my question. But yeah, I hope they do that. plus there's the DLC that's already out for Persona 5, the costume DLC that comes with music tracks. So I don't really get costume DLC unless it's part of like a pack. Like, if costumes come with a season pass, cool, yeah, I'll do that. I think like the only time I didn't do that is like when I bought costumes on their own was in Arkham City. Considering how much DLC that game had, it's weird that it didn't have a season pass, but it might have been too early for season passes now that I think about it. So we're going to take a while to get up there. So part of the trick with this is you cannot wall run while you are dripping wet. It's like when your feet are wet, you can't wall run. Yeah, I don't usually buy costumes as DLC unless like they're part of a pack. As like a season pass or something. If I buy a season pass, and then I usually only buy season passes when they're on sale because I usually don't care that much. But I was interested in grabbing the Persona 5 costume DLC largely because they all came with music tracks.
From here next time.
Like you can get the Persona, you can dress everybody up like Persona 4 characters, and that will. Oh no! I don't want to do that. And that will replace the battle theme.
As you wish.
I don't know if it replaces the battle theme, but it gives you the option to play the battle theme from Persona 4, Reach Out to the Truth, instead of the one from 5, which I think is called Last Surprise. And there's a similar thing, you can get the uniforms from the Persona 3 school, and that comes with the Persona 3 battle track Mass Destruction, which I really like. I'm really big on Persona 3 in particular. I feel like it's kind of overlooked these days with 4 and 5. These bats have only shown up in like the last 10 minutes and I hate them so much already. For the love of God, come on. It's like they'll just keep coming until there's like 3 left. It's really irritating.
Whoa.
Alright. Yeah, I might have mentioned it before. I can't see that. Alright, there's nothing there, okay. Now, I mentioned it before, but like the easiest way to hit me with like nostalgia vibes is pretty much always just like it's music more than anything. And music has become like one of the main things I really appreciate about games. Like specific sound cues can be really good for it. Musical beats. It's like in Resident Evil 7 had this really neat bit where... Can I get up there? Yes. Resident Evil 7 had this really neat bit where there's a keypad that shows up in Resident Evil 7, and the sound that plays every time you press a button is the old menu sounds from classic Resident Evil, and that was actually really cool, like that. You know, like that kind of thing. I think it's really cool. It's like the reinforcement through multiple sources. Like recurring themes and stuff like that. It's like Final Fantasy with its recurring use of various themes like the Prelude, Victory theme, and that kind of thing, which reinforces the idea, which in itself is like a big part of the reason why I was against Final Fantasy 13 the first time I played it, because it was the first game I'd played in the series that just didn't have the victory theme at the end of a battle for some reason. Well, I say at the end of a battle, Final Fantasy 12 only played the victory theme at the end of boss battles, but it was still there. But 13's soundtrack grew on me as time went by. And at this point, it's like I will replay Final Fantasy 13 at some point. I'll do it for this channel. So at some point, sooner or later, I will do it for this channel. Because I do want to give it another go, especially after I went through Arkham Knight again, and I was much less. I was... What's the word? I was less disapproving of it, maybe. I don't know, I didn't dislike it anywhere near as much. Which, like, the benefit of time and hindsight maybe is part of the thing. But since then, it's like I want to give stuff like Final Fantasy 13 another shot to see whether or not that can still hold up that way. I am missing something. What is it? Damn it. But yeah, and go back to 13, see if that still holds up in a similar... Well, see if that holds up better with the hindsight and stuff. And there are people who enjoy 13, and I do know that. And so maybe part of my thought is like maybe the problem was just the way I approached it and everything. So I'll give it another shot. Eventually, one day, sooner or later. It's that. I want to get on that bucket. But how do I get on that bucket? Right, no, I see where I need to go. Yeah. But yeah, that's another thing that this channel will be good for, the revisiting of games that I didn't like. I mean, I'm not expecting a miracle from Final Fantasy 13. There are several reasons why I didn't like it the first time. But you know, maybe I'll come out of it feeling better than I did when I finished it. But we'll get to that eventually. No hurry. This was really roundabout. So that's actually the one we want, but we want to go through this window here. Because you have to remember, why would it be here open if there isn't something here? It's another sand tank. But don't be fooled by the sand tank, it's not the only thing that's here. It's not a bad idea, that actually. Distract you from a big reward down a hidden pathway by giving you a small reward. Like, closer on the hidden pathway. To make you think, oh yeah, no, that's all that was here. This is what was hidden. It's one of those ideas, like there's the old ideas of when you're setting traps. And what you have is you have the one really clever, cunning trap. But the truly clever part is that it's disguised behind another less cunning and hidden trap. And so the idea is, like, the person you try to trap finds the easier trap to find. You don't make it too easy to find so that they don't get suspicious about it. But you make it just easy enough that they will find it. And then at that point, that'll be it. It'll be like, oh, this was the trap. And that's it. And they won't look for the next trap. It's the same idea. Yeah, you know what? I don't want to deal with you. That said, with us having 2 more sand tanks, we can get 2 more power tanks now. And the power tanks are gained through absorbing the sands from enemies. Like that. Yeah. Like the big guys countering your counter, I don't mind so much because they're big. They're very clearly meant to be like a big, dangerous kind of enemy. But when the guys with the chains, and they were the other guys earlier on, when those guys are blocking your counter, that does irritate me, because then at that point it's like, well, what's the point in the counter then, if they're going to block the counter? Did a little fat guys block the counter? Well, I guess we'll never know. Camera. Like I said, salmon on the counter in this game is really weird. You got the 2 counters. You got the one with the oh, I guess they don't block the counter. You got the one with the dagger, the one with the sword. And the dagger one's preferable because when it works, that happens. Well, that big knight guy isn't gonna go down to that counter, because he'll counter that. Oh no, he won't counter. He'll just block it. It's that he'll counter. No. See, we get to the point now where, with the fights getting this long, I think it's supposed to be like 16 enemies for a new power tank. Oh, you. Well, it's supposed to be 16 enemies for a new power tank, and we're almost there already. That's just how many enemies they'll throw at you in these combat encounters now. And this isn't even the worst of it. Keep having to scratch my nose during this combat encounter. That's getting me damaged. What the hell hit me there? Yeah, what the hell is hitting me? What is killing me? Like, it's not as though this game has touch damage. Thankfully, I think there's some water in there we can get.